Thanks for staying with us. So the federal government appealed to Nigerians in diaspora to return home to contribute their quota to build a better and prosperous Nigeria. According to the chairman, Nigeria in Diaspora Commission, Mrs. Abike Dabiri-Erewa, she said that Nigerians abroad should bring back their experiences and help provide solutions to socioeconomic challenges hampering Nigeria's growth and development. Now, this is a conversation we've always had in the past. You know, people are saying Nigerians should come back home. What are your thoughts on this, especially because we have quite a number of Nigerians who return home that are currently in government. We have some of the best hands who have schooled abroad. We have some of the best hands who are handling our economy currently. We have some of the best hands who've gone to all the best schools, and yet we're still in this situation. So when we say come home, do we believe that they are going to be the panacea to Nigeria's development, or do we think those living in Nigeria actually are the ones that need to fix Nigeria? Let's have this conversation. You can call us on 081 0764 1679 090 24 163440. You can also tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag your view TVC so we can read the tweets. Some will argue that the man at the helm of affairs, our president too, is a returnee. Everybody's a returnee. The ministers we have, some of them went to Stanford, went to Yale, went to Harvard. These are people that have all the big university degrees, and they are still, Nigeria is still where it is, because even with all the returnees, many of us find that Nigeria's problem is almost beyond people returning home from anywhere. You know, it's probably a mindset shift within, because if you can't change within, there's really nothing you can do to as a palliative or to fix it from outside. But what are your own thoughts on this? Do you agree with Honorable Abike Dabiri-Erewa that Nigerians in diaspora should come home, or do you think we should begin to preach a new sermon concerning this? What are your thoughts? Who'd like to go?
Okay.
Nima.
I totally agree with her. I think that, you know, there's this stagnancy in our development because the people with the skill and the knowledge, which traveling or schooling outside is an opportunity to get the exposure that you need. It's not for comfort. You know, people are born in an area, they travel to get skill, they come back and grow their people and develop their people. But that is the other way around in Africa. We go, we stay there, very sweet, there. And we develop there, we build a name there, and we come back here without any input and tell them, I just came back. As if the award is for living somewhere else. You know, you acquire knowledge to impact. You acquire knowledge to change things. You don't just come into the world, live and go. Your impact must be in the development and change that you are able to bring with the knowledge that you have. And this has stopped with our parents' generation. Our own generation, soft life only sweet things, no effort. And then we go around and we envy the nations that have grown. The people whose nations, in fact, I don't see an average Chinese in China still living, you know, this largesse, Arab life. Everybody is still working to input something into the system to make it better. You see their young ones developing things every day, struggling, and that is an effort. That's not something that comes easy. Study, put in something to change the image of your country, to grow your economy. It's work in itself. There's a stagnancy, there's a stop in the work of our own here. Even the agriculture that we have is stopped since. We only have the past glory to talk about. We have arable lands, but the school we are going, there are no new skills we are learning, even in Nigeria, and there's none that we want to learn abroad that we want to bring in. If you see the few people who's returned, there's this young lady's farm up north that, you know, everything is recycled, everything. She has a poultry farm, everything, a greenhouse farm, everything. She go abroad, she speaks so well, she learns, she brought in that knowledge, and she's impacted, you know. But we like to glorify external impact as opposed to how to grow our people. So I'm totally for Madam Abike Dabiri's invitation to come back with whatever you've learned and come with the resilience to make sure that it impacts here. Not that when you come, something happens, say, hey, they took light. No, grid collapsed, so I had to go back. Because there was an act of God in the US recently. No American japa. They will wait for it to pick up. They don't talk about what hits them in the negative. They focus on only the positive, and we hear only that and we consume it. But when we bring out our own uses, the negative that has hit us, that we are always shouting. You don't,
Let me come to talk about your thoughts on this.
Yeah, so for me, of course, it's what she's saying, maybe because it's already on ground. Nigerians actually, a lot of Nigerians come back. They come back, and when they come back, they start businesses. A lot of Nigerians come back. Even when they don't physically leave when they are back fully, they send their money to support businesses on ground in Nigeria. So I feel like we already have a lot of diasporan people coming, but we have not created an environment that will receive them and maximize them. So that, for me, is what NIDCOM should work on. When Nigerians from diaspora come here, the first thing that hits them is that we don't have a structure, we don't have a system, and they are used to something that has structure. So when Nimba said resilience, very important, but also because we know these people are coming in, we need to help them succeed. That is what the government should do for people that are coming from the diaspora. Because if a doctor is coming in and has experience and says, okay, I'm going to be coming in 3 times in a year, I'll spend a month each time, and I'd like to be able to render my surgical services, the doctors don't have to be flying through, skipping rope and all of that, where you would put roadblocks. Then they will not have to get through a lot of bureaucratic processes before they can contribute to the society. You want to fix a road, and you're having to appeal to people. You know, so the system itself doesn't encourage even people that have the heart to support or come back to do it. So I think that the NIDCOM already is advocating on a positive note to support Nigerians in diaspora. They should also provide governance interaction for Nigerians that are coming back to make it easy for them to come here. I've heard several stories about people that have opened farms and shut down the farm. How people, like, they robbed them blind. They said, oh, you just come out from abroad, you have money. So there's that attitude of they would chop the money and they exhaust the person, and the guy is going back empty-handed. As if somebody wrote a book to tell Nigerians in diaspora not to come to Nigeria. I have that book. The man was bitter. He was beaten. He cleared his account, passionately coming back to Nigeria, lost his marriage in Nigeria, lost all the money in Nigeria, lost his self-esteem, went back on loan back to the UK to start afresh. And the business he did here could have been successful. It was the human factor. So there are, and it's not like that Nigerians are not facing it or they are facing it there. It's just that we should make that environment easier for those that we're trying to bring back, make it attractive for them to come and solve the problems. And one more thing, love for country. I think we cannot say it enough. I think what we have now is love for self. I need to take care of myself, take care of my children, give my children a better future, and they cannot get it here, so let me go. And when I come back, if it's not comfortable, I love myself too much to stay with this offer, I go. But if we push love for country and create the environment, then we have a synergy that can bring proper growth from the resources we have in diaspora.
Fantastic.
Well said.
May I have your thoughts?
Yes, so my thought is, you know, I was looking at the context in which she was giving this message, and it was a school setting, you know, and for me, I understood why she would have that message, which is, you know, to foster and encourage patriotism. And that is good, but I just feel that it's just as good as that, because really our problem has never been for those who have gone abroad to come back. Our problem has always been for those who do come back and have not been supported in one way or the other. So our system does not support these people. The way of life, and just some of the examples that Tope mentioned, which is, you know, where we take advantage of people who we think are not as smart as us, you know, well, humanly, we almost like we're losing a sense of integrity. We're looking for how to take advantage of people however we can.
Yeah.
So there are many people I know of, many businesses that have come home to set up, and the only reason that they came home was just for that patriotic feeling.
Love of country.
That love of country. They understood that it would be expensive, they understood that it would be tough, they understood that they would be resilient and they'll have to persevere, but then they get beaten down over and over again. The message for me that is most important is really, what do we need to start doing in our country to make sure that those who have gone out and are willing to come back thrive and make proper contributions to the system? Our system seems to break them down and seem to fight, you know, almost, it's almost as if it's trying to push them out, you know, of the country. I mean, there's no need to even say much. The reason why we have people who are trained here doctors who are trained here, teachers who are trained here, who understand the system and everything, living in the number that they're living is because there's a system that's just not, it doesn't reward, you know, a certain hard work. For people who do not have like influence, you cannot pay some bribes. Our system does not reward people who are willing to just work hard and not, you know, without having any sort of cushion that is not, you know, in the legal way. I will just say that I understand the message. She needs to give that message to young people. We need to tell them that message so that they know that there is a home that you have. And the best thing to do is to come back and contribute. Okay. But the truth is, what are we doing in Nigeria to make sure when they come that they stay, that they are able to contribute, and this contribution is seen, and then the people that make true contributions are rewarded. People who have the skills are put in positions where they can make proper contributions, not people who have some sort of connections, are able to pay some sort of bribes. And whether we like it or not, we're Nigerians, we live in this country, we see these things. We see people who will tell you, I have these years of experience, I've done this much. I can give you examples, I've employed this many people. But somehow, no matter what I say here, because I don't know this person, I've not paid this person, nobody's inviting me to the table.
And that's the mentality some of our Nigerians who try to come back have, and they don't go through the right process. The reason why I'm saying, because I've seen different levels of returnees. I've seen the one that just went to Jack Robinson University abroad, comes back and expects to be treated with some kind of, not that just come back, want to be treated with some kind of preferential treatment because you went to Jack Robinson University in one corner local place that even the educational degree cannot hold water in many places. Even ordinarily go to different countries within Africa, even outside, even in Europe. There's some countries, there's some universities you go in certain countries that that degree might not even be able to stand against something you get from University of Lagos or even something in Nigeria. When you go there, you come back, you're supposed to be given that kind of preferential treatment. That's one level. There's another high level where you come in with real experience, maybe as a doctor, a surgeon. Now, when you come into a country and you want to really give back, the right thing is not to call brother, sister, please find me land, I want to build the hospital. The right thing for you to do is to go to the government. Now, some have gone to government to see how they can get approvals. Some, obviously, the people within the government frustrate their efforts. Others who maybe have connections for higher level, have access to get the right approvals to get their buildings. So some of it depends on how you do it. So my question is, if I am a returnee, what is the best way? What's the system in place to help me to settle in legally, properly, protected? Because some of us, they come in just calling one brother, please find me land, call me once, I want to start the business, calling cousins to come and they mess up the business and you get frustrated and you now blame the whole of Nigeria because what your family friends did to you was your personal business. And then you blame the whole of Nigeria for messing up your business. I've seen those levels. But it doesn't mean that. So it should be a mindset change within and without. Even those Nigerians abroad must, if you're going to be come in ready to do it the right way. Not the way, with the mentality you had living. That was just here.
And I was thinking you're going to even go there.
Hold on a second, please. I have a long distance call. Good morning. Thanks for calling. You're live. From where? Botswana. Where's that? Oh, it's in Africa. Good morning, Tokuba. Thanks for calling. You're live. From Botswana. Oh, yeah, it's
so sorry. There was something you said that stuck with me during the time of election. During the election, a lot of diaspora people came with ideas of how they felt election should run. And they came in and they were speaking spring, like, oh, you people don't know what you're doing. This is how they do it. This is how we used to do it. How we won the election in all these places. And Mariah said, when she came back, and she was like, like the people you're talking to have native knowledge that these diasporans did not acknowledge. And so you now complain that they become a stumbling block for you because you disrespected them. You know, I've been in the ministry for 20 years. You might say I don't know what I'm doing because there's no result to show for it. But when you come and you become my commissioner and you come and speak English, oh, I just came back from Harvard, I did this course of strategy, like, and you disregard me. You disregard the 20 years I have served to become a director in this ministry. You disregard the experience I have in local knowledge. And you come and you start throwing your ideas in my face and then your data. Yes, and then you now complain that I am not supporting you. I think that we also need to, like I know this is not the class or the context. The context is for students to have love for Nigeria and when they study abroad, they should come back. But in the context of just talking to diasporans generally, when you come back, you need to you need to love the people and understand where they are. Don't bring them to meet you where you are. I think it was Abike Dabiri that said it, that you cannot bring people to meet you where you are. You need to go down and meet them where they are. So if you are coming from a system that works, that is all perfect, and you meet someone that is still shuffling papers and they're looking at you and chewing gum, don't judge and think that they don't have anything upstairs, because they will read it in your face and read it in your body language, and they would now become they'll become like, they will now form this stumbling block for you.
Can I
So just putting it out there.
Yeah. So I hear you, and I like the way that you said that there are different levels of returnees. There are different types. So I get these ones that you're talking about. But I'm also talking, and I want us to pay attention, because these levels of returnee, or this category of returnees, I've heard their stories too many times. I'm not even talking of people who have never lived in Nigeria. So they left to go to school, and they've schooled and they've worked. And they are now maybe in their late 40s, in their 50s. You know, they have built some sort of career and experience. And they are back. And really, they understand that I'm coming here to make a sacrifice. So I'm prepared. So it's not as if Nigeria is strange to me. But I am coming with the knowledge I have as a Nigerian and the experience I've gotten from living abroad. And I want to make a difference in my country. There's a group of returnees like this. And they are met with all sorts of challenges and frustrations. Sometimes they'll sit with you. They'll be like, but look at this. It will be good for Nigerians. Why is it so hard to accept? Why is it so what is this bureaucratic process that you're taking me round and round, when all you have to do is just put this on ground and implement it, and the whole of Nigeria will be better for it. That is the group of returnees I'm talking about. I'm not talking about people who feel entitled, who haven't really had education experience. Yes, we have those, but how about those that are willing to do the work that we have frustrated so many times? And when they pack their bags, we feel the pain, because we know that they have tried, but somehow the system did not allow them flourish.
I'll come to you, Nima. Let me take Thiso from Abuja. Thanks for calling. You're live.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, sir.
And good morning again. I want to correct an impression. Why do we go for quick and temporary remedy for our solution than things that will stay set of time? We are talking about just taking care of those coming from abroad to invest, their protection. But if we make the whole system of Nigeria protective and workable, then we don't even need to section some people. They will be coming themselves. So I think we should go for things that last. Okay.
That makes a lot of sense. Thank you there, so Nima, I want to jump in.
So one of the reasons I believe people leave is not just because, this is not working. It's, I am not built for this. There's also a class mentality of I deserve better. Some have Kolo mentality of Kolo, anything Oyibo is better than here. Because I said on the show on Friday that an average Briton, an average American, they are as corrupt, even more corrupt than we are. And Tokwe said in the past, I said, no, presently. Because you see, even our political system can't work because a World Bank is predicting or demanding certain developments from us as opposed to what we really need. They will tell you what to do, and you see their leaders come and attest to it, maybe on their retirement, in world spaces, videos on everywhere of how they manipulate African countries and because of their resources. And we sit here, we say, no, they are white, so they are better than us, that kind of thing. So there are a lot of reasons why people leave. And so when this conversation of calling our people back starts, I do not like it when it's that time we are talking about how when the person that came was pushed back. It's like mixing two things. We can sit with ourselves and talk about how this place must work for everybody, including the people at home and the people coming home, and how it is important that we grow a Nigerian. The president of the African Development Bank was speaking at Gowon's birthday, and he was mentioning how important Nigeria was to West Africa, to Africa, how important our growth is. And that's the goal that everybody should picture. If Libya could work under Gaddafi in the midst of this same Africa, because he broke out of taking those rules and those messages, and then he was murdered, it means that if an African was left to themselves, they will eventually love the country. But this narrative of the self is not sold by an average African. It is a narrative, I cannot come and kill myself. It starts with somebody. And it eats into our larger population, the youth. And so the two conversations, I don't like it when it's mixed. I think when we're calling back, let's call back in one voice. when we're talking about making it work, that's a conversation. I can sit here a full day and have a conversation with Abike, the president, everybody about how this must work. We do that every day.
I mean, yeah.
It's one voice when we are calling people back. We call them back, and I added resilience. There's no place. Recently, the UK, we had a black-white attack. You know what's happening everywhere, and the black shops were burnt. I saw the video of a Sudanese saying, if he had built this in Sudan, maybe things would not. He could only just imagine what he's going through. You know, he came for a better life. You thought that was not possible there. Anything can go wrong anywhere you are in the world. It's your resilience that makes your business grow.
We have to wrap up on this, but I'm going to go very short. When we come back, we'll try to wrap up on this because I like how you put it in different ways. And that because people have come here, even foreigners, pure white people have come here and they live in this country. Indians have been here, Lebanese have been here. They've thrived in this same
using the resources
in this grid collapsing system.
Yes.
So it is possible. Some of us have returned. I was depressed for the first 2 years. I was crying. I was almost suicidal. I was like, what is this? But I stayed. It's 20 years now. I'm here. So people have stayed and they've actually thrived. But again, you can't compare to those who have tried genuinely and the system frustrated them to go back. Go on a short break. When we come back, we'll wrap up on this. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. We're going to take a few comments on social media, but let me let Mariam jump in here.
Yes. So I was going to say, you know, Nima made a strong and a valid point, which is sometimes when we're talking about love for country, let's just have that conversation. And I think that that's what Ms. Abike Dabiri did at that forum. And for that forum, it was important, and she had that. But the truth is that when we sit at a table like this, when we have conversations like those, we need to have a conversation to remind us why some things are not working. It is easy to talk about the love of country. I don't think that that the problem of Nigeria is the lack of love for country. It's the frustration of the system not working. And I feel that it cannot be oversaid or overdone. Anywhere we can sit down at any table, we should keep drumming into the heads of those who are in charge of this system, who are supposed to be like custodians or supervisors of this system. It's easy for me. It's the easiest message to give. That's why you can give it to young people, because those young people are filled with love and passion for their country. But the truth is, when you have told these people about the love of country, you have told them to do this and do that, when they come back to that system and meet something, what do you expect them, you know, I want them that when we have encouraged them to love country, that they come back and they meet a system that encourages them to do the same. The reason why some countries, we see some of the things that they do. I know, I'll use America. They have used Hollywood as a way to encourage love for country. Their country is not perfect. They know more than you and I that their country is not perfect. But then there are things that they talk about, and there are things that they have put in their system. Their president, or the former president, someone who's running for president, has sat before, has gone through the courts for things that he's done wrong. How many of our leaders have gone through courts like that? And so it allows them to believe in a system that can work. If you follow this channel, you follow this channel. Where is the channel that a Nigerian has to follow to make sure that get justice?
When we keep asking of this system, we act as if somebody's going to put a system in place. The system is the people. It's not like, okay, I'm putting this structure in place, this is the application form, do this, 5 minutes, you get your business account, and move on. No, that's a system. But the real system we're talking about is the people, because those people are going to come and meet a human being at that desk who is supposed to have love for country, but is thinking of self. How can I benefit from this multi-million-dollar idea you want to bring to this country? How is it going to benefit me? So the system is not a structure. It's more of the mindset of Nigerians, which we must also acknowledge.
So let me quickly address YouTubers. I just noticed that they said that it's Western countries. Because whenever I sit here, I have something to say about Western countries. They say, Nima, one says, I like her patriotism, but I dislike that anytime it involves abroad, she has say. So one person said she has an hatred for Western countries. That's not true. What I don't know, if I hate something, I actually hate the comparison. You're comparing the number of years of advancement. You're forgetting the interruption in development. If you take it all together, when you're talking to an African country, you're not calling them third world, because they are third world as if they deliberately slept and refused to grow. as opposed to the interruption and what you took,
Consistent
and all
efforts.
you took in the name of expatriate, the name of resource management, the name of oil companies and IOCs. If you put all of that into cognizance, we will have the conversation. But I hate that comparison of Nigeria as opposed to the UK. UK colonized us in 1960, and they've only left us for about 64 years. And when we compare them as if they grew on their own resources that another person managed.
You're making it worse right now.
No.
Let me just...
They manage other people's resources
right.
and grew.
They exploited other people's resources.
Exploited other people and grew.
Yeah.
And so the comparison is disadvantage.
Who can
it's
even
unfair.
exploit at this age? Which
Maybe we
nation
say
can
go
exploit?
colonize
Exploit,
somebody,
this
thief
next
all their
generation
resources
can begin to
and
exploit.
compare. You know?
I have to wrap up on this, but let me take a few comments. Engineer Tijani says, we need such a synergy between patriotic Nigerians in diaspora and those of us at home. In all of this, patriotism is a focal point. The establishment in Nigeria has extreme resistance against positive change, and many people are giving up as a result of this. However, we must not give up because quitters don't win, and winners don't quit. So we must be determined with our strength and resilience to implant positive change because it won't come with ease. Any comments with you? I have to wrap up. But really, I think we can end with that. So according to him, he says the resistance is in every facet of our national lives, but we must break this jinx. So there will be factors that would cause you, frustrate you to want to go back. But you must also swim against that tide and break through and break free. And hopefully we have a system which Nigerians must be conscious to the fact that Nigerians in diaspora are coming to help. And we need to work together. If you have that consciousness, when somebody comes in with a solution, you'll be coming with you'll be defensive, and you'll be looking for how to exploit. You see how we can collaborate to make sure it works. I think that's a good message for Nigerians today. Let's go to shop. When we come back, we discuss Band A issues. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.